Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Monday Night with Ellie, and we are with GRL for round two of the season, Division 3, and at Canada for a short qualifying 50% race. Here we go. So, Canada, Canada. It's always been quite a difficult track in the sense of it's really easy to pick up penalties here, and that hasn't changed. Very, very easy still. I think it's a bit better. I've got to be honest, it's better than it was on 22, but still quite easy to do. Um, but in recent times, the races I have seen here so far have been very good races. Does make you think about strategy because 35 laps here, the two stop is definitely a possibility here. So it's a very short lap, about 1 minute 10, 1 minute 11. So, well, yeah, 1 minute. In terms of qualifying, we're expecting pole to be in the high 109s, but we shall see. It's a very fast league, so I'm sure it will be. And but then obviously in the race, so yeah, lap times in the sort of 112s, 111s, somewhere around there. I'd be expecting at some point. We have just hit 8 o'clock, or 8:01 in fact, so should be getting a call anytime soon. Just 15 drivers in at the moment, so seen one driver saying he's not able to race, but not sure about the other four. No doubt it's a much improved on this game in terms of traction here, in terms of everything really. So still very easy to invalidate your lap around here, but it's definitely better than it was. What have we got here then? So just having a quick look at the Discord, see if there's anybody. So still on 15. There are people trying to get in, I think. You forget there's an update. Yeah, so anybody that don't know, there's been a 2.9, well, almost 3 gigabyte update today. Don't know how much effect it's actually going to have on the racing. I'm not sure. There was a huge amount done in terms of the racing, I don't think. Um, there's been a big update around the time trials. There was a big glitch. For those that didn't know, I was mentioning it last week in my comms, but I didn't at any point actually say what the glitch was because I didn't want to sort of tempt other people to be doing it. But for those on consoles, they were able basically to go to the end of the lap, um, use a flashback. So they complete the lap, they'd use a flashback to go back to the lap they've just completed, and every time they did it, they could do it over and over and over again, and it would take a tenth off your time every single time you did it. So you just did it repeatedly to get to the top of the leaderboard. But that has been stopped, and they have wiped clean the time trial leaderboards to get rid of the times that were done like this. I've heard quite a few people in Discords complaining actually that why have they wiped the leaderboards? Surely they could have just removed them, but it's not easy to detect it whether somebody's done it or not. So there's some at the top of the leaderboards that were pretty obvious had done it, but they needed to remove all of them, not just the ones right at the top. So even the guys that had done it, but were still down in like 10,000th or something on the leaderboard, they still needed to be removed. So that's why they've done a clean sweep. I assume Bash was fuming about the leaderboards. Oh, dude. I'm not too. I normally, when I've got a race, I normally wipe my time trial anyway. So whatever track I'm doing next, I wipe that time trial and start again every time I race there. So to get a 21.7 at Abu Dhabi, oh, nice lap. Very, very nice. But yeah, there's certainly. I know I'd spent a lot of time on Silverstone, for example. But yeah, I still wipe them every time I do a race at a different track. Quite a hold up at the moment. It's now 8:05. Let's get going. I wish they would. No, wait. Ultimately, if people aren't in, it's their choice to be late. You know, we start at the same time every week, so people shouldn't be late. So let's move on. Somebody has joined. Was that Harrison? I think's joined. Yeah, it is. So Harrison's gotten in. Oh no, felt too ill. Oh, I hope you're feeling better now, or at least well enough in a way. Are you not in then, Basher? Are you? Let me. You know you're not, are you? Oh, I see. So you're one of the guys that's not racing. Oh. Oh well, I hope you feel better soon, Basher. I'll be back next week. So we are going in away. Here we go, heading into the short quali. So as I say, there were some predictions put out of what the time, pole position times were likely to be in the different divisions throughout GLR and GRL, and Division 3's prediction was 109.8, I think it was. It was a high 109 in a way. Ah, cool. Back next week. And he's racing for Yenta. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, I never do, but Yenta Bars. That's how I say it, but probably wrong. Let's see how they go tonight. It was a difficult start to the season last week in all the divisions, actually, in GRL, but form, as they say, is temporary, class is permanent, so I'm sure it will pick up. So into the qualifying session, so 18 minutes for them to get their best time on the board. Usually enough time to do 3 runs, but actually around Canada it's a really short lap, so you could probably get 4 runs in around here. As Grignick's retired, I think he might have a qualifying ban, I'm not sure. And Olzeech has just joined, so he will be taking his seat. But he does have a qualifying ban, so he should be, once he's in his seat, just retiring out. As we wait for some movement. There's every chance. I think we all know Canada, there is every chance that there could be some rain at some point here. So they may be needing to make some little tweaks to the old setups. We've got a McLaren out first in squares, and looks like there's a Haas following him as well. But squares is out first, so we will stick with him and see if we can do a hilly hot lap. Just for info, I raced here myself on Saturday night in a 100% distance race. Unfortunately, I got to lap 38, and there was a glitch in the game that completely ruined my race, and I ended up out and DNF'd. But it was really good though. It's still a great track for racing. A lot more I can say about it. The straight. I think we all know by now that the DRS this season is just so overpowered, so the overtaking opportunities are clearly down this straight here, this long back straight, so it's where the best opportunities arise. Drivers will need to be careful if they're heading into the chicane side by side. hopefully when those moments arise, sense will prevail, and the driver who's slightly behind going into the chicanes will hopefully back off. But on to the first hot lap of the evening then for squares, and it's a difficult chicane. I think it's been the bane of my life for so long, that chicane. I'm playing Formula 1 games since 1988 on Super Monaco Grand Prix, and I've always hated this track since it came about. And that chicane specifically. I'm absolutely amazed that that didn't invalidate, but it hasn't. So, head on to the straights. There's the yellow flag out. There's no incident there, that's just slower cars on their outlaps minding out the way. As the Alpine now picks up speed in a way to start their lap. So, a nice first lap for squares, I think. Decent lap. I was a little surprised it didn't invalidate on that second chicane. But nonetheless, a good first lap for squares. Sees a 110.4. There was a Haas, but they've just gone through actually. Moreno. This is Zaki Boy. And one thing I will just quickly mention is drivers will need to be careful going into the pits this evening. If you use the corner line or the full race line and you use that for your braking points, it's very, very difficult to see the braking point for the pit lane because it's kind of covered by the chicanes racing line. So it's really difficult to see it. So I find it best to pretty much brake in as you turn in for the chicane, but I think it's best to brake a little bit before that. I don't think the braking for the pit lane or the pits for the racing lines are particularly accurate at any of the tracks, quite frankly. Who else we got then? There's quite a few invalidations actually going on. So who is this? This is Hops. He's already got a time on the board, 110.2. Harrison's just out the chicane at the end. But, doesn't get a proper time, so hopefully he's going again, so we'll stick with him. Jens Buzz still in the pits, Basher. This Harrison gets an invalidation. TJ Wheat also invalidated. Anybody else? Don't think there's anybody else that's... Formula FSM has left the session. Where is Formula FSM? I can't even see. Oh, he's up to second. There's an Xbox, excellent. Let's invite him back. It says he was last seen 48 days ago on Disney Plus. That's always interesting, that. What? I don't think so. Squares back out. Showing purple in sector 2. Formula FSM joins. So I think I'm quite eager to check out tonight. Part of the patch today was the EA Friends has supposedly been fixed, so that if you got too many friends, you could. Before, if you had too many friends, you couldn't see anybody on the invite list. So hopefully now, if it's fixed, you should be able to see the names now. Squares goes into provisional pole. 110.1. A few drivers on outlaps at the moment. So Moreno, Yassin. Let's get to the. Yassin's just got a McLaren on the back of him here. Oh, I think that's Squares actually, so he's just done his lap in a way, so no issue there. Getting pretty close already to the predicted pole position. Squares to disappear. He knows he's going into drumming into the pits at the end of this lap in a way. Oh, no, he's slowed down for him. I don't know what that's all about. Just wants to make sure he's not in the way when he comes around to start his lap. Yasin. Nicely through the chicane. Just takes the speed onto the hot lap. Car over to the right, brake down to fourth. Throw the car inside and throw it round the second turn 2. Be confident getting on the power on the exit. It's important to get on as quickly as you can. And that is an invalidation. Unfortunately, too much of the inside curb at the chicane. So we will move. I don't know if Ryan is on the lap or not, especially once the end of sector 2. Yeah, I think he is on a lap. Just under a tenth down in sector 2, but he will know how much time there is likely to be in this final sector. A lot of the time, there's a lot of time to be found in the final chicane if you can nail it. But no, into the pits. Okay, wasn't happy with it. Yenta, 109.7. He's broken the prediction for the division. But Yenta bars 109.7. Fabulous lap. Absolutely brilliant. Down the sky blue. On the lap. That's the end of sector 2. Oh, he's not got time on the board. Oh yeah, there's a lot of drivers without times on the board just yet. We'll need to find another driver to do a really hot lap with in just a moment. Nicely through the final chicane from the sky is blue. And 110.3, that puts him into P5 of nice first lap of the session for him. And Formula 1 FSM just jumps up. Sorry, Formula FSM. So that is P2, 109.9. Some very nice laps. Pipes here. That's the end of sector 2. I really need to find an outlap actually. It's Hobson. He's on his way down, so I'm going to move to Hops really. We'll keep an eye on Heights. He's currently in P6. We'll see if he moves. But let's go to Hops then for hilly hot laps. So we head down straight to the start-finish line with DRS open. Hang the car to the right, down to fourth, third on this occasion for Hops, and back down to second. You can kind of grind around the second corner, but you need to be quick getting on the power without losing it, of course. Then through the right-left chicane, done that nicely. Keep it to the right-hand side through the flat-out right-hander. Down for the next chicane, through the left-right. Again, another part where it's so important to be able to open up the steering so you can get on the power. Keep the car to the right, DRS open. We head down to the right-left chicane now. The third chicane of the lap. Nicely done again from Hops. And we'll keep it over to the left now, ready for the hairpin. Brake as late as you possibly can, but you need to make the apex. And Hops maybe a little bit wide on the apex on this occasion. But again, all about getting on the power and getting down the straight. DRS opens. This will be your best overtaking opportunity in the actual race. And then brake and nail your turning. Nail the final chicane just like Hops just did. And now keep the car to right on a qualifying lap. And improve to a 110.1. Goes P5. Hypes, by the way, did do that. He did complete his lap. I don't know if he did improve his time, but position-wise, he stayed where he was. Rambo not improving. Yasin is improving. There's a couple of attempts up. And yellow flag ahead, but driver's gone into the pits anyway, so I'm not sure what that was about. Oh no, there was a car on the right hand side, wasn't there? It slowed right down. They were just letting people through, I think. Yasin improves by 5.5 attempts up to P6. just ahead of Squares. Oh, Zeech, not sure he's not retired out. He has got a qualifying ban. Should be retiring out. CG Wheat on an out lap at the moment. Venter is back out there. And he's half a tenth up. Maybe lost a little bit on the exit there. Nice through the chicane, carried plenty of speed through it while being able to get on the power as well coming out. And he's now, yeah, he did just lose a little bit of time on the exit of the second chicane. He just touched the curb and I think it just unsettled the car slightly. So we'll soon find out if he carries on with the lap or whether he dives into the pits. I suspect he's going to dive into the pits here. But, yeah, he is indeed. Then that Ferrari, well, that Ferrari is Harrison, but he's invalid. Oh, he's only on an outlap in a way, but he had invalidated. TG Wheat hasn't got a time on the board yet, but here he comes. So with no time on the board, I've got no comparison to what he's done previously, so I can't tell you how he's getting on. And well, he's just a bit wide on the entry into the first part of the final chicane there. But did well not to invalidate the lap and get one on the board. So he goes P12 on a 111.5. Right there, might be Harrison. Not sure. Yeah, it was Harrison. Oh! Had a bit of fun about that, I think, these two. Oops. Who we got then? The vast majority of people in the pits, but we got Squares on an out lap. Somebody else was on an out lap, but it's just changed them. Was it Rambo, was it? So I think let's go with Rambo. So Rambo looking good so far, lap. DRS here. Down to this right left. Very easy to invalidate this right left. So again, you saw how much curb he was able to take without invalidating it. Interestingly. Rambo heads down the back straight. Didn't actually see a second split, so I'm not sure whether he's improving, but he's looking to finish the lap. He would have had time to pit there if he wasn't happy with what he's doing, but he's definitely happy with what he's doing. It's a 110.2 and improves up to P8, just ahead of teammate Hypes. So Harrison, unfortunately, another validation. In and goes fastest, 109.612. That is definitely faster than what was expected. Just coming up to the end of sets of one and just under a tenth down. From the session. He's pushing it pretty hard there. It's like lifting the flag right, which is a surprise. Oh, was it valid? That's validation, I would say, compared to some of the ones we've seen, or haven't seen, should I say. Yeah, seen, I think, on the lap. See how much more curve you can take this year than the last. It's definitely improved that side of it. Yasin into the 109s now. 109.8 goes P3. Nice lap, Yasin. Boy, very early in his lap. Oh! Should we pretend we didn't see that? IT Moreno just... Put 1-3 up. 10.27. From all these guys, to be quite honest with you, this is exceptional. Frustrating. .999, another one into the 109s, goes P8. Jacob isn't on a lap, so that is it. Each come out at the end there to do a lap. I presume that's to make sure his setup stays for the race. So there we have it. That is qualifying, and what a qualifying it was. Super, super close. Super lap times, I have to say. So, Yenta on pole with 109.427. Just quickly scroll down. Squares in P2 from the FSM. Yasin, Zaki Boy, Jacob in 6, Hype 7, Sky is Blue, Hops, Rambo, IT Moreno P11, TG Wheat in 12, Harrison 13, and then Olzeach, Beastie, E69, and Craig Mitz at the back. Those guys didn't do times. And who am I trying to tag here? So I guys have to tell him what pole was. So Super Quality Guys pole 109.427 at, oh, I've forgotten his name. What's his name? I've forgotten his name. What's his name? Dara, that's it. Can't believe I forgot Dara's name. I'm so sorry, Dara, if you listen to this at any point. I do apologise. But that was definitely an impressive pole lap. Well, impressive quali from all of them, actually. Here we go. The lights are coming on. And out they go. And away we go. Very tight, obviously, into turn 1 and 2. Oh, there's a car spun. didn't see what happened to him actually, but it was a dangerous place to spin, and that may have caused some problems. Some details up, including the tyres for you. And as you can see, for a tyre, very much hards. I wonder if that's a suggestion that there could be rain later in the race. The fact that hards is so well preferred. Some really tight racing here. Oh, and there's an incident, and Zaki boy is out. He's ended up in the wall, and the front wing gone, and that's brought out a virtual safety car, not a full, but a virtual safety car. And I saw him go into the wall, but there was a car in the way to see what actually happened. But I would assume they were going down a straight, so I'd assume there was some sort of tag from behind or contact to the side or something that's pushed him into the wall. That is the end of tonight's race for Zach. Unlucky Zach. Oh, okay, they're free. It is a restart. Any drivers listening, it is a restart. The race will be restarted. Leave the session and join a new lobby, which I'm sure we'll get told in Discord is up shortly. Oh, I see. Somebody readied up early, and so people were in AI, which caused problems. So it will be a restart. In that case, guys, I am going to grab myself a fresh coffee because I finished mine. So I'll be back shortly. Bear with me, and I'll be back for the next attempt. See you in a bit. Right, guys, I'm back with you. We are obviously back in a new lobby. Have I pressed spectate? Yeah, I have. I think there's just one missing. Creeb. I can't remember what his name is. Um, right, so obviously, any drivers out there listening, just bear with the admins, guys. These things take time. Um, I think we all know that, so just give them a chance. Oh, thank you, everyone. I've just noticed I've just hit 400 followers, so thank you very much to whoever's pushed me over that number. That's hit a target for me, so thank you very much, guys. Twiglets, hello. So how many will finish tonight? Last week's race, yeah. We shall not speak about last week's race, Twiglets. But yeah, no, you're right. Um, I think it's going to be better. I do think it's going to be better. Were you here in time for the quali, Twiglet? Actually, Division 3 here, and he actually beat the predicted Division 1 time for pole position, which is pretty cool. What have I done here? Pressing the wrong buttons on my phone, trying to do stuff. Oh no, I see. A notification come up and I accidentally pressed it when I was trying to press something else. I see. Okay. Right, okay, so and again, any drivers listening, we've readied it up to the grid, but you must wait. Drivers need time to do their setups, their strategies, etc. And I'm told it's a 4-minute wait, so like I've said in the Discord, the easiest way to do this, guys, is nobody press ready up. Nobody does it until an admin does it. That's the easiest way. So, we shall wait. I've really got to start giving myself some little fill-in stuff to put into these little gaps that we got. Let's see if I can find any information out about the Gilville track. Canada F1. Here we are. Right then. Oh, it would be right then if my phone would load. Come on. Here we are. Let's go to. By the time I get onto this, it's going to be bloody time to go. Right, oh, I've been booted. Awesome. Oh man, if I do not get back in enough time to see the start, I'm going to be fuming. Probably not fuming, but you know, a little bit angry. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jamie. We look to get back in quickly. Quick. On the loading screen, guys, if you guys that invite me can hear me, I'm on the loading screen, so it might be a moment. Here we go. And I am in. There we go, I'm in. Right, just while we're waiting for them then, little bit of useless information really about this track. First Grand Prix held here was 1978. It is a 70 lap track of a 4.361 kilometers lap, which makes it a race distance of 305 kilometers. Lap record here is held by Valtteri Bottas, 1 minute 13.078, and it's a fast, low downforce circuit. One of the driver's favourites actually, although apart from me, I don't like it. The track is quite stop-start with lots of heavy braking chicanes and the famous hairpin to get the anchors working hard. Out of the corners though, the track is quick and flowing, while the most iconic piece of the circuit comes right at the end of the lap with the Wall of Champions, so called after excursions into it from Damon Hill, Jacques Villeneuve and Michael Schumacher during the 1999 Canadian Grand Prix weekend. That's enough of that. We are going, and the lights are out, and one I can see seems to get off to a pretty decent start. And I mean, incredibly, is that the same driver that spun on this attempt as the last? It's Hobbs. Now there's a Ferrari. Is it a Ferrari? And somebody had spun a little bit as well. I think it was Yassin. Oh, and there's another one. I think the Williams driver caught it actually. I think there was a Williams going to go round in it, but they caught it. Yellow flags are out, and I think that's TG Weeks, who's dropped to the back as he seems to have the whole of his front wing there, so I think he's okay. Yassin has definitely got a front wing, but I couldn't see if the end plates were on there. No, he's lost his right end plate. Jacob seems to be okay, so we are going. Everybody's okay, apart from Yassin, who's going to need a wing change. Unfortunately, as we come up now to Zaki Boy, who's had better fortune on this start. And we'll look at the tyres in just a moment, see if we're all the same. So then, let's bring those up. Tyres, yeah, so as you can see, still a vast majority of drivers going for the hard tyre to start this race. A couple of retirements at the end of lap 1. Harrison and Wheat have retired, both in the pits by the looks of things. There are yellow flags out for those cars and those retirements, but no other cars have had incidents at this point. As we continue pretty close at the moment. Squares started on the softs, currently occupies P4. I'll be interested to see what strategies people use. I've got no idea if whoever's going to play effect or not. I've not heard anything. Squares get a little run here on Zaki Boy. Picks up the slipstream, and they have got a warning for the second part of the chicane. Had the move done before the chicane, really. See there, actually, Squares that time's considerably faster than those ahead of him. Just having a look down, just a little gap has just created between the Tauri of Zach and Williams of Hypes, so just over a second. This means that Hypes won't have the DRS, which is likely to leave him vulnerable to, well, it'd be his teammate Rambo first. And Hop's just behind that as well. Here he goes. Rambo to the inside of Heights. Makes that pretty easy. What about Hops? Hops can't get through as well, so just the Williams exchange positions. Heights sensibly doesn't really fight it. Quite happy to allow his teammate through on that occasion. Teammate on the soft tyres, so probably better to be that way round at this point in the race. See if Rambo can maybe drag both of them up onto the back of Zach. At the moment, the gaps are sort of appearing, but they're not big gaps. Still within the 1 second, most drivers. But just big enough that it may allow the driver ahead just to fight off the overtakes at the moment. Head up to the hairpin. It's going to be interesting to see if weather's going to play a part later in the race. The sky doesn't look too bad. More sort of blue than dark, so Artie getting a chance on Hops here, I think. He is on the outside as they approach the chicane, and both drivers make it through nicely. It's how to make those overtakes. So, simple DRS overtake, of course, but sensibly done from both drivers. Hops will know that he'd almost certainly get a chance to take that place back on the next lap as Squares gets ahead of Formula FSM. And, Sky's Blue makes up a couple of places there. How do you manage that then? Oh, we got a virtual. We've got a virtual. This is on a postcard. What for? I've absolutely no idea. I'm having a hard time down there at the back at the moment. You'd have been hoping it was more than a virtual, but it's not on this occasion. Trying to have a look, see if anybody's... Is that a wing missing? I think it is. It's old Zeech. He's lost a wing. So that is the reason for the virtual safety car. So he will be making his way back to the pits. He'll be hoping that the VSC stays out for him to make the pit stop while it's out to soften the blow a little bit, but I don't tend to last that long. Let's just have a quick look at the position changes. So the top three as they were at the start of the race. Zach's up 1, Rambo up 5 places. Really good start to this race. And off we go. The virtual safety car has finished. Zach right on the back of Formula FSM here, and well, Rambo has caught onto the back. He's dragged his teammate along somewhat, but the teammate has fallen out of the RS range. I'm just having a quick look at penalties. Yeah, it's only a 3-second he's got. It wasn't a drive through. So looks like that's his Squares having a ride on the back of Yenta. Time difference doesn't suggest it's as close as this, but there's going to be a chance. To really see the overspeed with the DRS, and Squares moves into the lead of the race. I don't think Yenta Bars is going to be panicking over that. He's on the hard tyre compared to Squares softs at this moment. Squares with the tyre advantage this early on, but that will change. So, I'm starting on the soft side. well, I don't know, I can't say for definite, but I still wouldn't have thought that he'd be two-stopping. I would imagine he's still one-stopping, but especially with how the race has gone, he's not managed to get into the lead and disappear on this stint. If he'd have done that, then he potentially could have two-stopped. But I think he's going to have to revert to the one-stop. He should get quite a large undercut by doing that. But then, of course, later in the race, people will be coming back at him. I don't know yet if the weather's going to play a part, or whether the safety cars may play a part as well. Sienta did have a run, but he just ran out of space on this lap. He may not want to retake the lead, quite honestly, at this point. He might be happy to stay behind and leech a bit of leech the DRS to keep hold of his ERS for later in the race. It's top 6 or top 7. To be fair, the top 9 drivers all holding on to their ERS pretty well at this stage of the race. So let's look back to Yente. He's very close to squares and does look the most likely for an overtake at this point. As run through the chicane and head down to the hairpin. Onto the straight, you would think that's close enough. I'd be amazed if he doesn't get an opportunity here. Doesn't want to use his energy. Look, let's do this. He just used a tiny little touch, which allows him to get the move done before reaching the braking zone. So a sensible little use there from Yenta of the ERS, but that retakes the lead. I'd imagine these softs are probably starting to feel it a little bit now in a way. Oh, Rambo was out. Rambo was out. Oh, it's in the pits. It is in the pits. I'm not sure why. Williams were having a superb time out there. I'm not sure why he's done that. Aston picks up a pen. Rambo leaves the session. Well, I've no idea why he's done that. Oh, Basher, it's a good question. I'm not exactly sure, buddy. I'm still relatively new to the league. I only actually found out recently that there was assist restrictions for the divisions. I would imagine that ABS would only be the top division, to be honest. So, as Yasin is now out in the pits as well, that's another driver out. It's rather disappointing at the moment. Not the actual race. The race is going great, but just a bit disappointing to see 4 retirements, and all of them have just decided to retire on their own in the pits. Formula FSM had a little look there. He's gotten himself into P2 ahead of Squares Inaway, who I believe is just starting to feel those soft tyres going a little bit on him. But did have a little look at Yenta as well, but couldn't get that done. Just sticking with the top guys at the moment. There is a good opportunity further down. It's looking like, yeah, no, I think Yenta will hold him off on this occasion. He's got a much better exit. So I'm just going to nip down, guys, because there's a one back. Well, it actually looked like RT actually got out of his way, to be honest, and just let him through. So that's Hops back up into P6. Attempt into turn 1 from Hypes on Formula FSM. Formula FSM holds him off. A little bit of contact between them, but nothing to write home about. It's tiniest little contact. Yes, I picks up 10. Jackson leaves us. So there's going to be opportunities again here. Squares very close to Yenta. So almost like his Saucer just having a little sort of second wind here. Didn't use any energy. He's happy to stick behind by the looks of it. He's getting dragged along. And the longer he gets dragged along like this, the longer he can extend this soft stint out, which will be more and more beneficial to him. You fancy that if he could do 15 laps on the softs, that he'd be able to do 20 laps on the mediums. To be fair, but he can go to hards as well. So my experience in this game so far is that the medium tyres aren't that great for me personally. I know it is definitely a personal preference, but I think the hard tyre is the best tyre in the game, and mediums, I don't know, it's just a personal preference thing. Oh, you're probably surprised when he had no ABS. Yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm an ABS user. I'm a pad player, so it's really hard to turn ABS off on pad. I'd love to. I have tried, and I would love to think I could if I could put the time into doing it, but it'd take a lot of practice. So they are lapping, as you can see, around about over 2 seconds off what they were lapping at the start of the race. So these soft tyres. So it shows you they clearly are very worn. So I picks up 2 seconds. I do love to try and give everybody the opportunity to be on the stream. It's just that at the moment the battles are at this end of the grid. There is one developing actually, so I am. Oh, that was I know it was lag on my screen. It's okay. That was lag on my screen. It's come down. I can't find who it was that I was coming down to, Nate. Oh well, let's go back up then. Oh, there it is, Beastie and Hops. That's the one I was trying to find. Beastie, DRS overtake up into P7. Down to 8, but one way to go yet, and I'm sure he will kick himself back up the order a bit. Oh, Squares is round, he's made a mistake. Oh dear, Squares from such a promising position as well. And that was definite damage to the front wing. I don't know if it's the whole... Yeah, it is the whole front wing as well. So it's going to take him a bit of time to nurse that car back round to the pits. Already dropped to P9. What a shame for Squares. He was racing really strongly as well. Really well. But that's what Canada's like. In all fairness, Canada very much is like that. It's so easy to make those little mistakes. And that was just probably probably maybe a little bit too power while still on the curb, or maybe a little bit too much steering input while getting on the power. It'd be something like that. Completely changed his race. I would assume he's going to go, well, whichever tyre he goes to, he should be able to get to the end of the race in away from here, but Goes to the mediums. So yeah, I think he'd be going to the end of the race on those mediums, but he's not going to be fighting, unfortunately, not going to be fighting for the positions he'd have been expecting to. Still going to get an undercut effect for some laps, mind, particularly before the hard tyre drivers pit. The medium drivers could be coming up to a pit stop if they're doing medium hard. They may want to consider it, knowing that Squares has just had to pit and get a new wing. Kind of take him out of the equation from your race if you pit to get out ahead of him. Otherwise, with that undercut that he's going to get by going to a fresh tyre, could bring himself back into the race to an extent. So Hypes is in off the hard tyre. That was definitely an unexpected pit stop. Hypes goes to the mediums. He's going to do more laps on the medium than he did on the hards. But this is presumably an undercut attempt from Hypes. I can only assume he's would feel it's too early. So these pit stops just meaning, oh, as I get kicked from the lobby again. Oh dear. Don't pay any attention to what you're seeing on your screen because that isn't real. I have been kicked from the lobby, so just bear with me. I'll need a minute or so and we will get back in. I've had these issues for a little while. Getting kicked from the lobby while doing comms. I've had them before, but not for a while now. So I can easily get back in, so there's no real issue. GSR Jacob, join. Hey Vice, yeah, all good. So we look what happened to Squares. He just spun, but he spun coming out of the corner. Nothing massive. I think it was just getting on the power a bit too early, or maybe a little bit too much steering input while putting the power down, or something like that. And the back end just stepped out on him into a wall. But unfortunately, it took his whole wing off, so he had to get back to the pits. So we're back in a way. Get details up. So you see some outstanding races going on. Look, Beastie up 12 places, EXR up 11 places. Let's get to the tyres to see who's pitted while we've been away. Hops has been in as Beastie pits now. So multiple drivers pitting now actually. So yeah, Squares we know obviously had to pit because he lost his wing. Sky is Blue's been in, he's gone to hards. Hops has been in, he's gone to hards. Squares has actually just got past Hops at the end of the straight, so Squares going to make anything up through these other people's pit stops now. Unfortunately, that wing change will have cost him, well, just standing still in the pits would have cost him around 5 seconds, and then of course there's the whole time that he was nursing it back to the pits as well, so unfortunately, although he went to a lovely set of fresh mediums, he was still not able to make those positions back by undercutting. So the top three at the moment still out on the hard tyre. Hypes is looking unreal in this race right now. He's pulled off potentially an absolute masterstroke here. He pitted early. He started on the hard tyre and he pitted, I think it was lap 16, to go to the medium, which is obviously early for the hard starter. And by doing that, he's taken the lead of the race. He's got Yenta behind him, who reacted the following lap. But some move. We'll see if it affects him later in the race as tyre wear starts to play a part. So with the penalties around him at the moment, Yenta and Zaki are looking in really good shape. But there will be plenty more penalties popping up yet. We all know what Canada's like. It's an absolute nightmare for penalties, so there will be more. There will be blood. Squares back up to P7 already now, which is some recovery, to be fair. To give you an idea, when he recovered from the spin, he was already down to P9 when he recovered from the spin. And he still had to make his way back to the pits and take that stop with a wing change. So to be back up to P7 at this point is actually very impressive. Andy's right on the back of RT, about to make a move as RT goes to the inside to move defensive, but ultimately RT shows some good awareness there not to try and block that off, because it would have just ended in tears. So good racing there. Bars. And he's an absolute massive favourite to win this race from here. Can't deny that one. He's got the Kraken in front of him. Shame the other Williams retired. Well, it's a shame for Williams in a way. No idea why Rambo retired. He was in a perfectly good position. In fact, yeah, I mean, I did mention it earlier on, but 16 starters in this race. There should have been 17, but one driver didn't join back on the restart. So, Yenta makes the move, takes the lead of this race, and he may disappear now. But yeah, the 16 starters, 4 retirements have all been of their own volition in the pits, which is a real shame. Sorry, that's where I meant to be. Let's go to Beastie. Seeing him on the back here of Zaki Boy. Zach still without penalty, and oh, Zeech is out, and that is in the pits. That's 5 retirements now in the pits for no reason that I know of. It's not as if any of them have come into the stream and said, "Oh, I've retired because I had severe rear wing damage" or anything. I might retire in the pits in a minute. Right, let's go back to Hypes. Or RT. Actually, no, let's... Oh, let me just have a quick look at that. Oh, we didn't get a chance. So let's go down to RT, who is making a move. Oh! Finally, somebody did decide to go side by side into the chicane, and it ended in tears as Squares gets shunted into the wall, and that has brought out a virtual safety car. Certainly one for the stewards, that one. I'm not going to make any sort of aspersions as to who I feel was at fault, because I just didn't see enough of it. It was just, when I switched to it, they were already halfway through the chicane, so I simply don't know enough about that to cast any aspersions. Jacob also remaining penalty free at the moment. So where are the leaders? They are at the hairpin. As Squares retires on track. And we are back racing, guys. There's, Jacob may get an opportunity here. Problem, of course, for Jacob there as he tries to go through the sort of slalom. Yeah, problem for Jacob there, of course, is that Hops getting DRS off of EXR as well. Let's lose the session. A lot of lag on my screen there. Showed Hops going well off track, but clearly didn't. Is he going to be close enough? I don't know. The Aston Martin just seems to get away maybe a bit too much. I don't know, because this light is flashing the Aston, and Hops has a lot of energy. So Hops to the inside, gets the move done before the chicane, and the XR files nicely in and follows behind as well. And we'll look to see if we can get an opportunity to come back at Hops. Nicely done from the pair of them. Stay your battle. Oh, I'm getting kicks again, I think. Yay! I get to watch the title screen a little bit until I get back in again. So we're back in once again, guys. As Yenta leading and looking strong and good for this win. In a way, his biggest rival is Zaki Boy, but he's in P4 and 7. So he should appear on the right here. That's Zach there. So the gap way too big at the moment, and if anything, has been increasing. Hypes and Formula FSM, of course, have penalties. So unless Yenta picks up a penalty, he's pretty much dead set for this. So, yeah, Hypes is still sticking with Bars Twiglet, and he's doing well, this Hypes. It's just that penalty could let him down for the win, but he's done with that early stop that has kind of forced other drivers into stopping, so that he doesn't get too big an undercut by doing it. It's really worked well for him, and I said the gap to Zaki Boy was increasing a bit. It's not. It's coming down. It's actually down to 5 seconds. He's really catching on to the back of this. As Yenta has now pulled a bit of gap, is he? That ain't 1.6 seconds like my screen said. Oh, what is going on? Timings are messed up on my screen, guys, so I've got no idea if the gap actually has closed or not, quite frankly. And what has happened is Hypes has to go into turn 1 and gets past Yenta Bars. Has a look on the inside coming out of turn 2, but it's lagging about so bad as well. I don't know what's going on, but it's gone really bad for all of a sudden. Timings are messing up. Yeah, no, the gap to Zaki is still about the same. Looks like it. Every time I think something's happening on the screen, it turns out it's a bit of lag and it all jumps back to how it was. No idea if that comes through on the stream to you guys or not. Oh yes, it does. I just saw it on my phone. So go stick with these top guys then, as Heights manages to hold him off that time. So the situation remains the same. I just think these guys now just need to keep this a bit sensible. Certainly Yenta wants to. He's certainly not going to want to do anything silly because he knows he's got the winners as long as it stays as it is. So start battling each other, and if they start fighting and all that sort of thing, they're going to give Zaki Boy the opportunity to catch up. So it's becoming it's a bit odd to say it, but they almost need to work together a little bit. Have I been in a realistic performance league? I have been in a realistic performance league. I created a realistic performance league at one point, but yes, I've raced in them and I've comms on them and everything like that. Nice. So, and nowhere near as close as what it says on the timings up in the top left. I don't know what's going on with those timings. Something's disconnected, hasn't it? Something or someone has disconnected and it's causing some trouble. But it's not our host. Our host is definitely still with us, so he's still there. It's Jacob. Yeah. Actually, Vice, I much prefer realistic performance leagues, personally. If I could find one, I'd do realistic performance 100%, full quality a lot. That's how I would do it. But I don't. Well, I've never looked, but I'm not aware of a league out there that does that. Is it? At the moment, if anything, Formula FSM looks like he's getting closer and closer to Yenta. Maybe Yenta's mediums are starting to give out a little bit earlier than the others. I've no idea why that would be. Maybe a setup reason or something. Again, doesn't get an opportunity down the straight on that lap. FTR is it? Yeah, good league is FTR. Obviously partners with, so at least we're in Vice, so yeah. I may look that up. What nights that it is the realistic buddy in that league? Let's get so tight between these three. I would like to go down to Jacob. He's caught onto the back of Moreno and looks like he's going to get an opportunity. There, oh, it's cautions and the sky blue is out and it's a full safety car. Oh, this completely changes things. It's going to be a really quick full safety car. But the sky blue has crashed in sector 1. And he's crashed on the last lap where it could have been a safety car. So I believe it will just do the 1 lap. That's unusual for the safety car because it usually has to complete 2 laps at least. But with it being lap 33 that we've moved on to, hence why you're not seeing anybody take any pit stops. Well, as I say, that Hops is in, but he's going to have to be super fast. This safety car will come in the end of this lap, guys. So for Hops to make this work, he's going to have to come out of pits and really bomb it round on what presumably, yeah, is going to be a fresh set of softs. Alternatively, he should be able to at least get the fastest lap. Is he going to lose a place, though? He has lost a place. Surprised at that. You see, miles back did EXR when Hops entered the pits. Oh, it's both divisions. Okay, cool. Well, they're not going to catch, are they? We're already at the hairpin. It's going to pay off for Hops. He's got to be right on the back. He's got a penalty in a way. Shall we look or not? I think we've got to, as there's a safety car. So, 3 seconds for... Oh, okay. He's got a drive-through with Hops. So, I see what he's done now. Because he's got a drive-through, he may as well pit for a set of softs to take the fastest lap, because ultimately that would gain him an extra point. With just serving a drive-through, he would have dropped to the back in a way. So, yeah, makes absolute sense from Hops, actually, to be fair. Let's see what he's done now. So he won't serve that drive-through. He will carry on and just get time added to the end of the race. But he's left a gap, so... Oh, he has gone into the pits to serve it. I can't believe he's done that. I'd have backed off, left a gap, and then done the fastest lap. I don't know why he's done that. Anyway, is anything going to happen here? Pipes leads the way. Yenta doesn't need to make an overtake. He's just got to be a little bit wary of Zaki Boy if he was to get past Formula FSM. But most importantly for Yenta is don't pick a penalty up at whatever you do. The irony of it all is that quite often once you start thinking to yourself, don't pick up a penalty, you then pick up a penalty. So, sorry, it's lap 34, isn't it? So, yeah, so Hops should still get a chance to go for a fastest lap. He's still got a drive-through, so perhaps he picks up more than one. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Hops, but... crosses the line to start the final lap of the race. giving us some close racing to finish off this race. I think ultimately it's been a good race. Just the one safety car, a couple of VSEs. The racing's been really good. The overtakes in the most part have been clean. There was one or two silly ones, but on the most part they've been very good. And almost all of it, to be honest with you, almost all of it DRS down the back straight. But that's just the way it is. How much does Yenta care about winning this on track? I would suggest not at all. Quite on. Oh! Oh no! Oh no, that did not just happen. Yenta's been spun by Formula FSM. He's going to be fuming. He's going to be absolutely fuming. Well, the race win has just been handed to Zaki Boy. Hypes crosses the line in P1, but will drop down. Zaki Boy takes the win. Hypes gets P2. Yenta ends up third. So he does get back up the order somewhat, but third when it should have been a win. Jacob P4, Formula FSM P5. Oh my goodness. I'll finish the rundown in just a moment. Oh, I'm slightly glad right now that this league doesn't, or this division doesn't do podium interviews. I'd have a very angry Yenta, I think. All that driving, so close with no contacts whatsoever. The very final lap, it suddenly goes wrong. It's the tiniest of touches from the car behind, from Formula FSM, but it's enough to spin him round, or at least half spin round, and lose him the win. There's the celebration on the podium. Fair play to Zaki Boy though, he kept it penalty free, and that is what can happen at Canada when you're penalty free. That sort of thing. Same what's happened for Yenta, getting put back up to P3 because of it. Hops did take the fastest lap at the end, by the way, with 1 minute 10.8. For most people, that's a decent quality lap. So, not in this division though. There we go. Where was I? Formula FSM P5, Beastie in 6, EXR in 7, RT Moreno 8, Hops 9. Then there is the DNFs, which starts with the Sky is Blue. He has been classified as P10 plus 4 laps, but we shall see if he. I'd assume he gets classified P10 actually. P11 Squares, Squares DNF, Olzeach DNF, Yassin, Rambo, Harrison, and Wheat. Every single one of those were deliberate retirements in the pits, apart from Olzeach. No, sorry, apart from Squares, who retired on track, and the Sky's Blue actually crashed. Instance. I'll try and scroll down through them in case the stewards need them. I might not get right to the bottom now. Almost, but not quite. Oh my goodness. Oh, so would I, Twiglet. So would I. That's unreal. That is unreal. Anyway, guys. Well, I have to say, last week's race was, if you did watch it, was an absolute disaster. I'm not going to lie to you. This week's race, there was nothing wrong with the race. It was actually a very good race. Late safety car has happened, and that's what's ended up causing the incident in the end that we've seen at the end. I saw one silly move in the whole thing. There may have been more, but I'm just saying that's all I saw. Ultimately, it was a very, very good race. Why did they retire Vice? I have absolutely no idea. Nobody's told me. I suspect there was no reason other than the race wasn't going as planned. But there we go. That'll all be sorted in Discord, I guess. But there we go. That is round 2 of the season. A much, much better race this week, guys. To those that did race properly and try and finish the race, very well done to all of you. You did great. Yeah, it's much improved. I'm much happier than I was last week in a way. But I've got a feeling there's going to be some angry people in Discord. But that could be sorted. Anyway, guys, we will be back next week for round three, of course. I've got absolutely no idea what track it is, so I can't tell you. From myself, I will see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for WAOF1. So, of course, please come and join me for that. You all know how good that league is and how good the racing is in that league. So, please come and join me for that one. Um, was a good race of what you saw, Twigger. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Twigger. I thought so too. Um, yeah, so don't forget to join me tomorrow night for WAOF1, such a fantastic league. Just to mention, last week's stream of WAOF1 was my first to get to hit over 200 views, so thank you for that, guys. Also, as a quick mention, that tonight the followers that joined me got me over 400 followers and hit that target, so thank you very much to you guys as well. Well, to all of you that followed me. You're all great. You're all legends. I will see you tomorrow night. Good night, God bless. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.